Alright. So, every now and then I'll make a new setup for this game. And relatively speaking, I mean, you could do your own customization with it. I probably don't have all of the gear pieces that I would want. And it all depends on how you play Dogtown and the Dogtown DLC. But I personally think that if you're gonna be a netrunner, that you're probably better off picking Songbird over siding with Reed and Alex, unless you have the intention of getting the Blackwall hack. But I did not have that intention. So let's run through the basics first of like what specifically you would be wanting to do in combat. And then after that, I'll kind of demonstrate what you specifically want for this build. In my channel, somewhere buried in all my videos, is the Becca Lucy build. I did a couple videos on it, but the basic premise of it is outlined better in those videos. So the point of this whole thing, or the point of it all at the time, was to find a crusher that had enough mod slots. But on that specific, when I did that run specifically, I could not manage to find it. And it seems to me like you can get better weapons and rolls on those weapons when you're not trying to collect them, because it's not contingent to your specific setup. So when I was doing the Homelander build, I picked up what I was finally looking for that I couldn't find before. Alright, so now I'll show you kind of like how combat goes, right? I might change that to thermal. It seems like it's so inaccurate. I don't know why. But the main point of it is to have damage over time. So whenever you hack someone, you're going to be getting a lot of dot. You can also go into this so that you can do it more often. You can hit them. You can explode like that. And it's just really simple. Damage-wise. And then when you waste all your ammo, for example, the next shot I have now is gonna be electrified. I'm gonna try to find somebody to do that too, just to kind of give you an idea of how that'll look. So yeah, I come up. Oh, actually, this guy's closer. So I'll hit him first, and then bam. He's instantly dead. And it works at a pretty good range, too. And then you can see my health as well is usually pretty good. You see? Like, there's nothing they can do. Personally, if you weren't gonna have that, instead of having that at all, you could just get rid of it and potentially use the leftover points that it does give you to maybe swap some things around so that you could either maybe pick up. I don't think you can pick up the cockatrice size actually because there's not enough room, but I mean, I could potentially drop Rara and put cockatrice instead, and not have arms and just have something else really good here, but that's why I said you can kind of customize it. But anyway, let's go with the cyberware first. So usually you want mechatronic because it's good against robots. I would only swap off of that to have the cyberware that Song gives you at the end of Dogtown, which is the thing that makes it so your cooldowns are really fast. I forget, it's called a neural something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's an iconic thing. I have it on some of my other builds. I have it on one of my meta builds as well. All right, so then we have X-Disk. It gives you a lot more RAM and upload speed. And then Axolotl. Axolotl's pretty, like, you gotta have it for most net running builds. I picked this because I was already doing a lot of electric damage, but I'm having a little trouble getting it to actually hit people, is the funny part. But if you're mid-fight, you can actually swap off from your arm while it's loading to char incendiary grenades instead, and you'll see why that's a good idea in a minute. So yeah, I have Rara, I have Universal, Phoenix, I have Adrenaline for movement speed because you're going to need to be closing the distance a lot, Reflex, and Synaptic. I have Pain Editor, Pain Deucer, and Chitin for... That's why I have such a redonkulous level of armor. I have Biotech because it's the best for dot. None of the other ones really give you that much dot in general. Oh wait, what am I... I think there's actually a better one that's not biotech, but I don't know for sure. Because it was talking about monowire and I don't use that, but... Oh, but it does say overclock. Yeah, so overclock resets the dot, which is... Yeah, that's why I was using it. So actually, you can ignore the monowire. Kuroshi because why? I did have this for dot, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, the sentry I think is the one that you want. Micro generator. This is the one that says that I get electrical damage when I reload from empty. So just shoot all your bullets. Just go crazy. Like don't even really care too much about how much you're shooting because all this other stuff is going to help you out. If I was gonna swap off from, I think it's nervous. If I was gonna have instead of adrenaline, I think that nervous system lets you put the one that says you can explode electricity based off of damage you're taking or something. You could put that on as well since we're already doing that, and so you would be doing that more often. Which is kind of fun because if they're close to you, they're not gonna have a good time. The threat evac, but with those rolls, the quick hack explosion, you're gonna want that. Biomonitor, yeah, you can see how that works. And blood pump. I don't really like to have to worry about pressing the healing button. I'm not very good at it. I like to just have it do it for me. And the tendons. There is a little bit of a bug though sometimes where it won't heal you automatically and you have to switch over to doing it manual, but I've only ran into that every so often. Alright, now on to the character. So you can usually get 20 in 3 categories, so that's what I did. I got body, I got tech, and I got intel. I got pain to gain, and this is the how to maximize your armor to get the most health. I went with shotgunning. I don't have all of the perks for that. I didn't really feel like I needed the no movement speed penalty because of I have dashing. If you didn't have dashing, then I would probably get that. I don't really think I need to be stripping their armor either because I'm already doing so much damage, there's no point. Reload speed is okay. I actually don't know if you would really need that because I'm not picking up Bloodlust, so I don't know 100% if I would really need this, but it does give me extra mitigation, so I feel like that's a good thing. I mean, you could probably change Skullcracker on over to Bloodlust. I don't know. It's up to you. Whatever you think. But that's how I had it set up. Tech, of course, we're going to want to get all the way to Edge Runner because it's fun to have that. This, you're going to want to get this. So just copy the tree as you see it. I got this for healing. You can also get this for healing. But I got instant recharge if I'm below 25%. But you could also just swap that over to first aid. Like, I think first aid's probably better anyway. Or demolitions is also good because then you can throw 3 grenades instead of 2. Anyway, moving on. Ignoring cool, we have nothing in there. I put all the rest of the points that the game gives me into this. And I got almost got to dash in midair, but I don't have enough points. But that's okay. I don't think you absolutely need to be able to dash in midair to make this build work for you. And that's it. And then as far as relic, I have it like this. And I was going to pick up this so that you can have 3 of them if you wanted to continue using that, essentially. Everything else would probably be useless up here for this build because we're not really using arms to do anything. So you don't really need more relic points than I've already used anyway. It's not detrimental to the build. And that's it. That's the full breakdown. And now we're going to get on to gear and what I'm specifically using there. We get extra Quickhack upload time for having this equipped. We get we get even more with the BD wreath that Lizzie gives you that. So that's why we have that. And then we have the Crusher. Now, the reason I wanted Crusher specifically is because I feel like it just overperforms in the shotgun category better than any other. There's other shotguns that are good, but this one just absolutely slams for some reason, and you can shoot it more times than a lot of the other ones that also do the same thing. And then you could also probably go and pick up you could probably also go pick up Becca's shotgun as well, but I didn't get that right now. And you can't mod that one anyway. The only one you can mod with the same setup besides that is the Posar X mod, which I haven't done the mission for yet. I gave it Kanetsugu because it's the coolest one to look through and it gives you crit, which is nice. And then I gave it Pyro, which is absolutely what I wanted to do. And then I gave it Firecracker, which it makes it shoot fire and explosion rounds at the same time, which it really reminds me a lot of the shotgun in Fallout, the explosive round shotgun in Fallout that everybody wanted. And you just go nuts with it. And then as soon as I hit this guy, watch what happens. Boom. You got hit with fire and electric and explosion all at the same time. And then Hilarious, right? Pretty good stuff. And so that's how the build works, relatively speaking. Nobody's gonna be able to do anything to you, really. It's very destructive. It's a amazing setup, for sure. But why I think the Crusher's the best one to put the put Firecracker on, which is what you get for beating the mech in Dogtown. I think Crusher's the one that you should put it on because, again, as I said, it shoots so many times. The reload's nice. It doesn't really kick a whole lot. So it has great handling. It has great damage output. It was like back when I was using it in the first time around with Becca Lucy without the mods that I have on it now, because I couldn't, because it didn't have the mod slots I needed. I just really wanted. I don't think there's an X mod for the Crusher either, so you're just basically going to have to rely on finding one with empty mod slots, which is really hard because everyone that I ever picked up when I was doing that build had one of the mod slots taken and I couldn't do anything with it. So, yeah, this is just wrapping up the Becca Lucy build, essentially. It's pretty much the same thing as what I had before, relatively the same idea, just a little bit different on the execution for it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I really like this setup a lot. It's probably, I would say it's probably just as meta as my other setups, but it has damage that's comparable to if you had done the cyber capacity glitches. You don't have to do that, obviously, because of how hard this shit hits. So, I feel like it's comparable to some of my other really good builds.